Well, apparently it wasn't because of the soccer or the tie that caused a fight with one couple who sent us an email here today. This girl said, I'm really annoyed at my boyfriend because he's rooting against the women's USA soccer team. He says they have a terrible attitude towards the United States and he thinks that they don't deserve the support of the American people. When he told me this last night as we were watching the Women's World Cup, I got extremely angry with him. In fact, it turned into a huge fight between us. I think it's awful that he's rooting against our own country. He thinks I'm blowing this out of proportion. Look, I think we're supposed to go to Universal Studios this weekend, but now I just don't know if I want to be with him. Am I being ridiculous, or is my boyfriend being an unpatriotic douche?
Okay, don't blow up the weekend.
Yeah.
You have a Universal Studios weekend on deck. Let's not blow this up.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys need to agree to not talk about soccer because it's obviously a hot button.
I think this is going into the political realm here, and that's what it comes down to.
It is.
And you know what they say, if you don't... Maybe don't talk about politics.
If you don't agree on something and you still like this guy, don't bring it up. Now, when you're ready to dump him, bring it up.
Yeah.
If you want to fight with him, bring it up.
Would you care if you're watching and someone's going against the U.S.?
Here's how I feel when I see that stuff. I'm from a military family. We're very patriotic. Pretty much all my aunts, uncles, my dad, all those people, they had served. And in fact, a lot of them were lifetime military. They retired military. Lifers. Yeah. So, they have stories. They've made the sacrifice. They've lost friends in combat. And so for me, I love this country. I love the sacrifices that people have made for it. I am at first enraged when I see people disrespect the country, but then I have to catch myself. And I have to say that is the beauty of America, Kev, is that people can make comments and statements about this country that they could not make in Russia or China and other countries that make them, to me, lesser countries than the United States. And the fact that they're able to do that, even wearing the red, white, and blue, is a testament to the freedom of speech that we have in this country. And so what you love about America is what they're doing. Now, I vehemently disagree with them. I think we have the best country. And so it saddens me and it hurts me when that happens. But I try to tell myself to appreciate the statements or the right to make the statements that they have.
Well, what if the guy just said, I don't hate my country, I'm not supporting the soccer team? Is that different to you? Or do you have to support all things America? If not, it's going to turn into a fight.
Again, it's his freedom. It's the women's soccer team's right to make whatever statements they want to make. And I've seen a few blurbs here and there about what some people are perceiving as slights to America as they're wearing the red, white, and blue. And that's their right. It's also his right to not root. And I think that they're both wrong. Both of them sadden me. And look, I'm supporting our women's team. I may be saddened by some of the comments they make, but I appreciate them. And, you do look back sometimes and you realize that protests that people make in the moment, you may not get it. But later on in life, you look and say, okay, you know what? They were actually fighting for something good. Their heart was in the right place. And maybe they were doing it the right way. Maybe I was wrong. And doing this, I really kind of had an awakening today. The story about Sinead O'Connor passing, to me, was one of those lessons. In 1992, Sinead O'Connor, on top of the pop music world, Nothing Compares to You, a song that you probably heard, was top of the chart. She gets on Saturday Night Live, and she sings a Bob Marley song where she reworked the words a little bit, and then she rips up a picture of the Pope. People were outraged. She got a lifetime ban from Saturday Night Live, and even Madonna, who is very progressive, had said, yeah, that just wasn't the right move. What she was protesting was all of the abuses of the Catholic Church and what they had done with diddling kids. And she was trying to make a powerful statement then, and everybody was angry with her. But you look back now, and you got to say, was she that wrong? And what she did?
I think that's, me and Virginia were talking about that. We were getting some water.
So weird. We were having this same conversation back in the kitchen.
Yeah, back then, everyone was really coming down on her. If she does that now, she's going to have people supporting her. There would be people that would, without a doubt, support her way more now than they did back then.
Big time. And so I try to also tell myself that. When I see some of these protests that I don't like, and I'm like, okay, well, have they seen something that I'm not yet enlightened to? that does need to be called out, because to me that's what's great about America is when something is wrong, you can call it out in hopes that we can fix it, and that's what is great. It's a pothole in the road that you don't like. You want everything to be a smooth highway of bliss in America, and it's not that way, but that's what makes America great.
Well, what's so sad is that she called it out in 1992, but then in 2000, Pope John Paul apologized for the church's inaction about the pedophilia.
Yeah. Right.
And so just because she called it out in 92 before...
We weren't ready for it.
We were ready for it. She suffered a lot of emotional damage from being...
For making that stand.
She was right.
Yeah. SNL, a comedy show, didn't back her up. It was supposed to be about freedom of, in quotes, freedom of speech.
And now we
that.
talk about how overly progressive Saturday Night Live is in some of their views. And, you know, it's the same guy who is heading Saturday Night Live now as was heading them in 1992. When she had made this move. And it was strong and it was bold, like some of these actions that we see. And we're like, oh my gosh, it shocks our systems. But I think that's why when sometimes people make a protest, they do it to that level, because to get attention, they have to shock the system. And that's what she did, and maybe that's what they are doing as well. So that's why, yes, my initial reaction, I feel like the boyfriend does, is that I am angered. But then I quickly tried to tell myself, hey, they are simply just pointing out a pothole in the road of the American highway that maybe we need to take a look at and maybe we need to fix. And so this is just the rights that they have, and they're representing America in the right way by showing other countries. You try that sometimes in Middle Eastern countries. You try that in Russia, China, so many other countries. If their athletes did anything like that, they would disappear, be imprisoned, and you never hear from them ever again. And that doesn't happen in America.
USA.
What? USA.
Who? USA.
So are they going to Universal or not?
They should. They should.
They should. And then just don't bring up soccer.
And, you know what? Maybe try to appreciate each other's position. And you can look at, be like, I respect what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. I don't know that neither one of you are necessarily wrong, because I share both of their emotions.
Yeah, you guys could just kind of talk about it, but that's not.
Why can we not just talk about these things? Because then we could just be like, okay, I kind of get a little bit of what you're saying, and now we can all go to Universal and have a great time.
Humans are very emotional creatures. We are. We
struggle.
We do. We are passionate and we got emotions. And if we think we're right about a matters of the heart issue, we tend to get emotional.
I would encourage everybody to walk into today with a little bit of an open mind.